Here we are, X-Cup Fall Playoffs continue. We're on Infernal Shrines, and we have, in the winner bracket, in the first round of the winner bracket, the final best of 3. So we already went through 3 matches, and especially 2 of them were incredible. One in particular, if you watched it already, you know what I'm talking about. But now we're going into Gunnars on against Team ORDAH, and Gunnars on brought all the star power that they can muster. Poik is here, Wooby, Breeze, Smexy, and Mene. They are all together, and this is obviously a team that you really need to watch out for, because we just don't know how good these guys currently are. We just don't know. They played in the playoffs, they qualified for the event, but half the time they played with a sub, and in other matches when they had their full lineup, they still lost to big teams like the Khaldors or Team Wah. But it's always different when you're in the playoffs, and obviously since then, they also had a lot of time. So they could practice a little bit more, could just play together a bit more again, and that all helps, of course. They go up against Team ORDAH, a team that is definitely the underdog in this series. Let's be honest here, they are the underdogs. That being said, they had a lot of really, really good games in the playoffs, in the qualifiers, and they had a lot of situations where they actually did incredibly well against opponents that they shouldn't be able to beat and caused a couple of upsets. So that in mind, we still have to give the role of the favorites, obviously, to the blue team. I mean, look at that lineup. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Junkrat banned, so is our boy Hogger. The Fleabag is out. Lunara and Stukov are also being eliminated as we're heading into Infernal Shrines. Vala is up. I like myself a good Vala. Poik, I think he's a bit nervous today. But let's see what hero he's going to play today. I wouldn't mind Poik on Tracer again, or Poik on Vala. I would be absolutely on board with that. Dehaka has been picked first and foremost. Smexy with a bright wing for game number 1, and here comes Breeze with an Uberak, going for the love bug. Actually a little bit disappointed that he doesn't go for his Toxic Diablo. If Breeze is known for something, then it is smashing people's faces in with Diablo. Just ask Fan and his Tracer what he thinks about Breeze's Diablo, and he can tell you a story or two. But we get an Uberak, so fair enough. Vala played by Blade on the other side, together with Malfurion, as he got locked in. And they immediately ban out Uther. Now, if Vala is getting played these days, most of the time you will see her with an auto-attack build. Since Blizzard buffed that, that is incredibly viable, but most of the time you want to play it with a double support, or with a Zarya in addition to it, to one support. Simply because you have the Gambit component of the level 1 talent, so every single death on Vala hurts her. So, with that said, Uther gets banned. There are still plenty of alternatives as second support, or you can go into a Zarya or a Medivh, of course. So, there's that. Here comes Leo for Wooby, and we got Mene on Tyker. So, all of a sudden you're talking Odin, you're talking Wave Clear on Leo. You have also the Entomb ready to force a fight. You have the Cocoon to force a fight. Smexy with a lot of global plays that he has available now. But what are we going to get from the red team to round out the draft? They still need their main tank. And they also need either second support or more damage. Second support is a bit more likely. Or Zarya, obviously, as mentioned. Or Medivh. Anything that can help keep Vala alive. And there's Oriel. Double support plus Johanna. So they got wave clear on Dehaka and Jojo. Vala obviously has some as well. But her job is going to be to weave those auto attacks in and get the stacks. And the double support is ready. Poik, he is now last pick, and they need a bit more damage on this. Can be either melee, if they want to play a triple melee front line, they can. Or they can go for another range damage dealer. And Poik is usually one that can really, really drop some damage. With Mephisto, for example. Okay! We're gonna get a glimpse into how good Gunnars on really is against Team ORDAH here. And ORDAH is a good draft. Can Blade pull it off as Vala here? Guys, we're gonna find out. Game number 1, we're in the winner bracket, the round of 8 of the X-Cup Fall Playoffs. Infernal Shrines, our first map. Let's go. Game number 1, Gunnars on against ORDAH. Poik on Mephisto for the blue team, Wooby on Leoric, Breeze on Nubarak, Smexy on Brightwing, and Mene on Tychus. It reads like an all-star team, and it kinda is. So how do they perform here today? How strong are these guys really? They go up against ORDAH in the first round of the tournament. We have out of ORDAH on Malfurion, Blade on Vala, Nogrom on Jojo, Zero on Oriel, and Meldor on Dehaka. Khaldor is always an interesting name to me because, I mean, despite the fact that a lot of people are claiming that Khaldor is the love child of Mene and Khaldor, that would be me, I gotta admit that he's kind of not. At least not that I'm aware of. I mean, maybe in a dark hotel room, in a drunk event, Mene and me, but I can't remember, so I don't really know. But I doubt it a little bit. The math just doesn't work out here. But there's also another anime series right now. I think The Faraway Paladin or something it's called. And I watched a couple of episodes, and this is actually pretty good. And one of the characters there is called Khaldor as well. So I guess he stole it from another anime. That's actually my personal theory. But either way, I don't know. Still, that guy has been around for a long, long time, of course. If you watched a lot of the Heroes Lounge coverage that I put in over the years, and also some of the other stuff that he participated in, you know that, obviously. But they have quite a strong team. For a newcomer team, this team has shown in the qualifiers that they are definitely some... You can't underestimate these guys. They're not on the level of the blue team in terms of star power and individual abilities, but as a unit, they do fairly well. So, either way, for now, we got Vala as already expected, obviously, with her level 1 talent, Creed of the Hunter. And that was a noob bait before the patches, but now that it's finally a bit useful, you want to keep her alive for as long as possible so that you can keep those attack speed numbers up and that she doesn't lose any of these gambit stacks that are a big component of the talent while you're stacking the auto attacks. And they are already playing aggressive. Look at that. Team ORDAH moving in and taking down the first... Well, not the first kill, but they take the claim, the camp away from the opponent. The problem, obviously, always is that you are going up against a double support, and it's difficult to get kills in the early game in particular. But they have a lot of damage potential. Gunnars on, that is. And Gunnars on, by the way, is also a little bit of a wordplay. I mean, the reason why they're going for Gunnars on is because Whoopi's last name is Gunnarsson. So that's the first one, and Whoopi apparently had something, I honestly don't know the details, but he was supposed to play for a CCL team or something, who were also sponsored by Gunnars, and got kicked or eliminated from that, or banned or traded. I don't really know the exact details, but so there's a little bit of a double word play around Whoopi and Gunnars. One's the sponsors with the glasses, and then at the same time him being named Gunnarsson. That's his last name, so they thought that was a fantastic joke and a great meme. And yeah, there's that. So that's how the name comes to pass. If you watch the qualifiers, you already know that. If not, then now you're a little bit... Yeah, I know a little bit more. But anyways, first objective is coming up, and so far we haven't really seen a whole lot of action, to be honest with you. One of the things for the blue team is, of course, you don't want to give the red team too many fights. Oftentimes in the early game, we see this 5 versus 5 battle in the middle of the map. From the perspective of Gunnars on, there's absolutely no reason to do that. Because the only thing that you're going to accomplish, outside of maybe getting a kill, which is honestly not really realistic in most cases, is that you give Vala opportunities to stack her level 1. So you want to take opportunities for stacking away from them as much as you can. But with that, they're already moving in for the first objective, and this is where the real party, of course, starts. And that's also a chance for Blade to get those auto attacks in. But currently, they're a little bit behind on the objective. That's a problem for Mene, though. And Brightwing is too late. There's the kill. Mene goes down. First blood for Vala and Team ORDAH. And they get level 7. Yeah, that likely is going to win them the objective here. Tychus obviously is going to get even more value once he has level 10, because he can use his Odin to secure them the objective. But for now, at least, it is the show of the red team. So here we go. Early level 7 for them, secures them the mortar, Punisher, and now they can move through the bot lane in an attempt to take some of these structures down. So, well done, well played. Can they get... How much can they get here? That's pretty much the only question. And they nearly get a kill on Poik. They might still get it. Oh boy. Yeah, Mephisto nearly went down here. Does Poik look nervous to you? Poik might be a little bit nervous. But either way, that mortar Punisher is no joke either. And is about to take maybe Mene down again. Oh, they drop him, but that fort is about to be gone. Yeah, they take it. The fort is gone, and that's a huge win. I mean, honestly, for a first Punisher, taking the fort down, that is big. That is really, really big. 30 stacks is not a whole lot for Vala, but she also hasn't died either, so late game is still something that she can very heavily influence if she doesn't fall. And we have her with level 7 also in the hot pursuit. So right now, things are looking really good for Team ORDAH. They take a fort down, they get the first kill in the game, they have a bit of a lead in experience. It's nothing to write home about yet. But you can definitely put pen and paper already aside, because that letter might be written soon if the trend continues. 18 stacks also for Jojo, that isn't too bad either. Top side, we got Menaldor and Wooby still locked into this 1 versus 1, and for now Menaldor is doing fine here. The camps at the bottom of the map are all taken by the red team. I mean, every single camp down here, every single mercenary camp is pretty much claimed by Team ORDAH. This one also just popping back up again, so they are likely looking at an early level 10 ability that they might be using in the mid lane to push some structures down. So that's another one. But, yep. Whoopi already going for the drain. Level 10 abilities, not really any surprises there either. Would expect Aegis obviously, and probably Falling Sword for Jojo. Haven't seen a lot of stuns from Johanna in the past. I guess you could still do it here. But nah, Falling Sword is being played. That level 20 upgrade is just too powerful and also allows her to move out of harm's way without putting more pressure on the two supports here, so they can focus their undivided attention on someone like Vala. And Norgrom is, of course, then also in a spot where he can always jump into the backline of the blue team and try and set up a kill. But here's level 10 for both sides now. Durance of Hate is in. There's the Entomb. That one didn't do anything, but if they can kill Vala here, that would be huge. And there it is. The first kill against Vala. That is minus 5% on the attack speed. 1 Gambit component is out. Again, for all of you that haven't caught up on that yet, the Gambit component of the quest is all tied to Vala's deaths, and every single one of them takes 5% of the attack speed down. So that was a big kill. Vala just splitting to the wrong side here. And that was a huge kill and a nicely played move by the blue team as they are headed into the next objective. And this time, Tychus has access to Odin. That was the one thing that was missing on the first one. So right now we got a kill for a kill, we got pretty much dead even experience. The big advantage for Team ORDAH is still that they took the fort down at the bottom of the map. But now that we're heading into objective number 2, this could all flip on a dime if Gunnars on is able to make a play here. So there we go. Off we have it. Menaldor, Zero, and Out of Order are all moving into the middle right now. And here comes the play again for Norgrom at the front, but Menaldor also has to be careful. A slight lead in stacks for Gunnars on at this point. And off we go. 12 to 12. No level 13 talents in play just yet. Here's the quest completion for Mephisto, and here comes Odin. Just as the 20 kicks in on the objective. And Norgrom gets forced back right away. They're making a play for Blade again. Even the Cocoon in the back against Oriel before she can use Aegis. But Vala is still alive. Blade moving forward, caught by the Entomb. But here comes the engage from Jojo as he's moving in again. And off we go. Norgrom is about to go down as well if he doesn't pay attention here. But Whoopi is not able to hit the next auto attack. The lead on the objective still for the blue team. 30 to 28 stacks right now. But Team ORDAH wants to get another one. Poik moving in again for even more DPS. But he's immediately falling victim to Blade as he moves in to take Mephisto down. And guys, I don't know, but Team ORDAH with 3 kills to 1. An early level 13 and the second objective taken too. That is not looking really too good for Gunnars on. With level 10 dropping into their hands and them having access to their ults, they should have been able to have way more of an impact on the second objective. And as Poik gets killed, so did the hopes and dreams die of taking objective number 2 and locking the second Punisher in. So now we're gonna see another fort fall, and they're losing ground on this map quickly. I mean, that's 2 lanes now under the control of Team ORDAH, and that's a big problem here. 66 stacks is not a lot for Vala, but for now it's working out for them. Aegis has to be used at the front line, and the stun does not connect, so Breeze miscalculating the timing a little bit. Blade got isolated with the Cocoon, but now they're turning it on Leo, and that's another opportunity for Vala, of course, to get her stacks together. 75 for the time being. As level 16 is kicking in, she's gonna get her Manticore and then also the Farfly Quiver later on during the game. But yeah, things are not gonna be too easy for Team ORDAH from here on out. They need a teamfight victory. They're 1 level behind, so it's not like they're gonna lose the game here any moment, but this is definitely a trend that they wanna stop. Or they're gonna look at an advantage in the series for Team ORDAH. So that's the other one. Damage output, 33,000 for Mephisto. Yeah, not that it helped him a whole lot here. Vala is at 21,000, so a little bit less. Top side, they push this one out, but again, that level lead is a problem. Once that level 16 is here, it will give ORDAH a huge chunk, and if it also happens around the next objective, then matters are gonna get even worse. At this point, for example, if you look down at the bot lane, we currently have still this entire thing taken out, which means that the advantage definitely goes to the red team, considering that they still have the fountain at the bottom right. Breeze obviously knows that too. They're anchoring the place here, but the red team has in the meantime rotated top and is now taking another lane down. I mean, they're literally outplaying them on the macro level now too. That's not something that you would expect from the red team considering who they are facing off against. So Nogrom here is making his way straight into the mid lane with the rest of them. They take a little bit of damage at the top. They force the reaction out of the blue team. Move top side. Here's the 16 now. And in an ideal world for Team ORDAH, they would hope to get the next level, or sorry, the next objective within the next few seconds so that they can run the talent advantage throughout the entire battle. Whoopi, he obviously tries to prevent that from happening, so he's moving down to the bottom, gets dragged here into tower range, and a few of the shots are coming in. But, well, there we go. Top side, Nagrom and the rest of his boys are going for the same play, but at least for Gunnars' own boys, they're gonna get the even talent fight. I mean, I guess that's the light at the end of the tunnel that they can play with even talents. Much more than that is probably not gonna happen. But they need to win that fight. Because if they lose it at the bot lane, we're likely looking at the first destroyed keep of the game. And it doesn't mean that you can recover from that position, but as an early game trend, in game number 1, I mean, are you kidding me? That should really help me here. So, for now, we got the level 16 talents in on both sides. It gives us Epicenter as well for Nubrok, so you can play that out during the battle, set the team up for victory. Not a whole lot of stacks for Vala yet either, so that works in their favor. 75 only gives her one single advantage there, but we have a ton of stacks on Jojo. 4T at the 12-minute mark. Whew. Not too bad. That's actually pretty good. Now, this one is the important one. This objective, ladies, is really what matters. If they can't win this, then they are really in trouble. For now, they are a bit behind, but they still are in a position that you can recover from. The drag doesn't connect. Here comes the stun. The Haka immediately moving back out. Blade at the front gets caught by the Entomb, turns it around with a quick stun, and obviously the supports are ready to help him out. They're trying to turn it onto the front line, and Nogrom is now the one eating most of the damage as Mane pops Odin again. They're slightly ahead, but Whoopi is in trouble, and Whoopi goes down. Leo gets traded for a couple of cooldowns, but there's not a lot that they gained out of that situation. Now Vala moving deeper, trying to also push the tank, going for Tychus, and Gunnars on just can't get a foothold here. 27 to 28 points now. Whoopi is trying to come back as quickly as possible with another drain, but as long as they can't take Blade down, there's little hope for Gunnars on to win that fight, as it seems, and they still keep Blade alive. Frozen Punisher gets claimed, 4 kills to 1, 1.5 level lead right now. And here comes the move for the next camp. They're painting the map red. They can move down through the bot lane now in an attempt to take the keep down. And Gunnars on is slowly but steadily finding themselves on the receiving end of a beating. So this is getting a bit tricky. 5 more hits and Vala is also going to get another advantage. There's the bait over the wall, so at least they execute that properly, but the entire wall is going to fall here, and with the side lane open up, if there's any kind of follow-up that they can use to get a kill, they will definitely go for it. But they actually head back pretty quickly, so they didn't try to exploit this too much. Given how far ahead they are in experience, that's probably the thought process here, that they just said, guys, why risk it? If we just play this slow and steady, we're going to get a huge boost once we hit 20, and then we can just go for keep and core. But, Jesus, look at Jojo. Johanna is at 50 stacks. I mean, hello? That's kind of insane. That's 45% at the 14-15 minute mark. Nogrom is playing such a diligent and disciplined game around moving from lane to lane and from one minion wave to another to collect all of those. Getting the additional objective, of course, helps them even more. But this is taking... I mean, this is pretty much making sure that healers don't even have to care about him. At that point, if you're a support and you need to deal with Jojo, some real shit went down. And they're about to hit level 20. So, yeah, that is going to get a bit crazy. With level 20 this close, Gunnars has no chance of defending the top fort. But I feel like I'm in opposite world a little bit. Not only do we have the Heaven's Fury upgrade now on the 20, we got the Farflight Quiver, so though, I mean, again, this is just such an insane upgrade, and we are 1.5 levels away from Gunnars hitting their Storm Talons. So they're trying to go for a quick blow up against Vala, but that's just absolutely impossible considering that Malfurion and Oriel are both around. They should be able to go for a keep here with this. Or just help Vala to stack like a madman. Leo is in the middle. Wooby is obviously trying to get more experience for the team. But it is pretty crazy. So here comes the move. Straight up for Poik again, but they can't get the kill. I mean, as long as the blue team is in a position where they can do their thing, it's fine. But yeah, time will tell. So 1 kills to 4. Half a level. I'm actually a bit impressed that Gunnars hasn't lost more since level 20 has hit for Team ORDAH. Part of it is obviously because the objective hasn't spawned yet in that time frame. But I really thought that the red team would push this a little bit harder and try to get at least 1 keep destroyed. Initially I thought their move would be down to the bot lane. Instead they're sieging up topside, which is fine. They steal the opponent's camp away, so that's a step in the right direction. But they haven't even broken through the wall. Which is kinda crazy. So, yeah, I don't know. 20 will be ready, surprisingly enough, for Gunnars for the next objective. They haven't won a single one yet, and they only got a single kill. But maybe they got a chance to turn it around topside now. I honestly think it's going to be their last chance too. Because if that objective is lost and they are pushing through the top, then first of all the keep will fall, but I would be shocked if they don't snowball that towards the core. Trader King for Anubarak, a little bit more survivability for Breeze. Nearly 100 stacks now for Vala. Not a lot. Again, Vala hasn't really stacked a whole lot. Part of this is because the blue team hasn't given her a lot of opportunities. And part of it is just simply because there weren't that many fights outside of the objective battles. So right now, everybody is just moving into the fight topside again. And now we need to get in. We need to get, again, the ult on main end. There it is. They go for Odin, and they have to win this one. Team ORDAH, if they can claim victory right here in this fight to get another objective, they might win the game right here now. Wooby is already getting pressured back. With the Farflight Quiver and the Manticore, it's a shit ton of damage that Blade can dish out. And apparently Wooby is a glutton for punishment. Yeah, he goes for the drain again up at the front. The Cocoon is in. There's the entomb, double entomb, and there's the kill. First kill is in. Aegis, they might get another one. Vala is trying to turn it around. The Mortar Punisher is already taken from the blue team. Vala is dead. That's another 5% gone on the attack speed. Maenaldor also annihilated. And finally, a sign of life from Gunnars as they go through the top. They're losing hit points at the keep in the middle though. Bottom keep also in trouble. Up at the top, we still got the camp pushing, but apparently they're trying to go for maybe even a death blow? I mean, they're pushing it in deep now. They're coming in for the fort, for the keep, and they might be able to go for core 2 if they're just fast enough. They lost 50% of the HP at the bottom keep. The middle keep is still suffering, and up at the top, the push continues. But they're trying to end it right here and right now. What is this craziness? They win a single battle, and they're going for it, and they might be able to pull it off. Vala is down for another 15 seconds, and there's nobody there that can do any damage to stop this onslaught. Guys, Gunnars is winning game number 1. Are you kidding me? 50% of the core, and here's the play. Vala is back, but she's back too late. Gunnars turn around a game like and they take the lead in the series. Incredible. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Cursed Hollow, map number 2. Guys, I don't know how many times I sat here today and I looked at the draft screen of the next map and I thought, how did we get here? I mean, I honestly don't really know. I mean, I know what happened on the last map, but it's still mind-blowing to me that it did. So what happened? The problem if you're playing a solo damage dealer with a lot of sustain is, if your hyper carry dies, you are in trouble. And Gunnars on looked at that. I mean, how did they do it? They, on the point, were able to, first of all, cocoon Vala. That was the first point. And after that, they got an Entomb with Buried Alive against both supports. That eliminated one support, forced the other support to save himself with the Aegis, and then that support died too. Vala was alone and died as well. And then they just said, okay guys, we're gonna go core. And honestly, that was the right decision, given how high the death timers were. If there were other heroes alive, they would have had a chance to maybe delay, maybe buy a bit more time, and then get the rest of the team back in and defend. But without any damage dealers, anybody to threaten the lineup of Gunnars on, they just couldn't. So Gunnars on capitalized on that one mistake and then snowballed the entire thing. And on the one hand, it was very impressive. On the other hand, if you look over to ORDAH, then you're just like, yeah, this is kind of frustrating. So there it is. But anyways, now that we're looking at our second map, we are on Cursed Hollow, and by now we have both supports banned out again. So first of all, Brightwing is gone, Stukov is gone too. They are banning out Dehaka for Global and also Junkrat. Urella is an easy pick on the side lane. She's also super powerful, obviously. Could still go into Leo, could go into Blaze. Those are probably... I mean, those would be the usual suspects to look towards to right now, right? So... I'm a bit curious if we're maybe having a bit of a different approach, given that Cursed Hollow is a very different map. I mean, Wooby Vikings. I would be game. If you get Wooby on the Vikings, that would be pretty awesome. I don't think that's going to happen, but it would be kind of great. So Mene locks in Tracer, and there's the toxic Diablo for Breeze. Breeze is coming in with his old love and locks it in right away. I feel a bit sad for Team ORDAH. I'm not gonna lie. I feel really sorry for those guys. They played a great game, and then they get defeated in one team fight. And because of how they got defeated, which heroes died, and a good call made by the other side, they lose the game. In one fell swoop. But still credit to them. Pushing Gunnars on to that point, that was impressive. And honestly, that also poses obviously a very big question mark on how strong Gunnars on is. It doesn't really matter how much star power and how many big names you stack up on one team. If those guys just don't have a rhythm right now, or if they for some reason don't properly flow, or maybe don't have the practice, then that is a problem. But either way, we got Uther banned out. So no double support at this point. That's a good ban. Banning Abyssar here, considering that we have Breeze on Diablo and already a Tracer in play, that's actually pretty big as well. But the one thing that I wanted to point out, if you really wanted to go in some kind of nasty style, for example with the Vala, and then still play this, you could really go Zarya and Vala now. Zarya Vala for Team ORDAH would be very strong picks if they want to go for a similar style again, and it would empower Garrosh even more. Problem then, of course, is that you only have the one damage dealer. Urel, Garrosh, and Zarya would be pretty beefy, but yeah, would force you into a particular style, but you could do it if you wanted to. So Falstad is in, we got Poik on it, and we got Anduin for Smexy. Which leaves Wooby. I don't really think we're going to get too many surprises from Wooby. I honestly believe that it's going to be, I mean, the two that come to mind, Blaze and Leo. There's Zeratul, and we get Greymane, so that's actually already a very aggressive play towards Falstad. And Tracer to an extent, but Falstad even more so. So Anduin needs to be careful here. Might go for the bubble, actually. Anduin with that might go for the bubble on level 10. Could happen. Anyways, we'll see. For now, what is Wooby going to play? And it's Blaze. Alright, no real surprises here. Blaze is in. Bit more aggressive what we now have from Team ORDAH. But yeah, more of a normal draft, guys. Cursed Hollow, very different map, obviously. So let's head in and see if Gunnars on can win this with the 2-0, or if ORDAH fights back, drops the blue team, wins Cursed Hollow, and forces the third game of the series. Let's go. X Cup Fall Playoffs, first round of the winner bracket. Cursed Hollow, map number 2. And let's figure out which team is going to be successful here. Game number 2, Gunnars on against Team ORDAH. Main on Falstad, we got Breeze on Diablo, Whoopi on Blaze, Smexy with Anduin, and Poik on Tracer. Tracer's going to be a little bit of a linchpin. I mean, normally you would expect Anduin with a light bomb and Tracer delivering it, a little bit similar to what we oftentimes see with Genji. I guess it could go into the word if you really have a bit of a problem keeping Falstad alive against Zeratul, but time will tell. We have Blade on Greymane for Team ORDAH. We currently got out of order on Malfurion, Meneldor, and Yrel. 0 on Zeratul, and Nogrom is playing Garrosh. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a look at what they can pull off here. The red team doing a great job in game number 1, but eventually then losing it to Gunnars on. So here, obviously, to a second chance for the red team. All the way top side, Poik and his boys, they're hoping for rotation. I think so far they're... look at that. Blade. Yeah, I like it. Wait. He's really taking his time. I mean, damn. Tracer is already moving back, so he's not falling into that trap. There's no easy kill for the blue team. That didn't look like much, guys, but that was some very safe plays from Team ORDAH now. They were already suspecting that there might be a trap set up for Greymane's rotation towards the top lane. So they really moved around it very, very quickly. And yep, here we go. Siege Giants are popping up at the 1 minute mark, and immediately we got Poik and Smexy on it. Whereas down at the bottom of the map, it's our 1v1 lane between Whoopi and Zero. Greymane obviously absolutely excels every single time that you put him onto a camp, so that's why he's great on a map like Cursed Hollow. There's a lot of camps around here they can target very quickly and take them down. And as usual, actually now that I think about it, no, that's not the normal rotation. I mean, the one thing that is always a little bit weird is like the tribute positioning. So oftentimes what you will see is the team that has the tribute or the Siege Giants on the opposite side of the map taking the Siege Giants late. In this case, they're not doing that. So they sent them out early, but it also plays a bit of a role that we have Falstad here, because as a global he can apply that pressure later on the top lane either way. So now they're just trying to get some early aggression against Yrel and putting her in a defensive position, force a rotation towards the top against it. And we'll see if that works for them. At the bottom of the map, Poik and Zero, that's a bit of a weird one for him. 2018, the heydays, before Blizzard abandoned esports in the game. But either way, Zeratul against Tracer and Zeratul against Falstad are going to be interesting battles as all of this continues. Nice attempt by Breeze and Whoopi here to go for some stun combos, but Whoopi missed that particular stun. He was, I think, a little bit too short to make it work, but what Breeze was doing here is he actually stunned the target into a wall and then tried to flip it into the jet propulsion stun from Blaze to go for a real long CC chain that then can be used by the rest of the team. So that was actually very, very, very nice. I like that. I like that a lot. But at that point, down at the bottom of the map, we got Poik and Zero still locked into that little fight. And Poik is missing his ult. So unfortunate for him. That could have really threatened Zero. But with the first objective now popping up, we're going to get our team fight one way or another. And Yrel is still up at the top. So if Falstad decides to fly down, they're going to run a numbers advantage on them. Level 4 talents for now for both teams. Nogrom is obviously going to be interrupted here. And not only the top lane, in the mid lane they're also still trying to get the XP for level 7. And it seems like the red team is going to get this a little bit quicker, especially with the Siege Giants down at the bottom of the map now. So another quick interrupt. And it's not a big window that they have, but it's a window nonetheless, and one that they might be able to use to get themselves the first tribute in the game here. Especially if Greymane is able to move down for that. So far that hasn't really happened. And there's another interrupt pretty easily. And level 7 is kicking in for both sides now. So alright, here we go. Stage is pretty much set. Both teams with even talents. And they're trying to go for Mane. So Blade is in. And Mane should barrel roll out and easily does it before Meneldor is able to push him into the wall. Mane therefore up against 2. And that gives the numbers advantage to the blue team, who so far hasn't really made a move at the bot lane just yet. So they're just trying to play delay tactics for as long as they possibly can. And there it is again. They flip into the jet propulsion, and therefore the long CC chain on Garrosh, a bit of extra damage. They try to go for the tribute. Topside, Greymane and Yrel are really wreaking havoc and taking the entire wall down, and Mane can't deal with that. Mena can't deal with that at all. So with that, we have an interesting setup where it's the pressure on Gunnars on that all of a sudden becomes more the focus of the game, because the longer they need to take that tribute, the more damage Greymane and Urel will do at the top. Finally, Whoopi is able to lock it in. They get another stun on Zero, and that should be a kill on Zeratul. First blood in the game goes to Gunnars on. They're looking for a second kill, and they should be able to get that too. Nice body blocking here from Breeze. No chance for Garrosh to get away. 2 kills, 2-0, but they paid a big price for it. They lost 50% on the shield at the top. That one's gone. And here it is. They are still on even experience. 2 kills to 0. Same time now. Poik, he's moving topside on the money pick. Obviously, the quest is nearly completed on level 1 for Zeratul, which is going to give him even more mobility than before. But that was an interesting exchange. And I am very impressed. Honestly, it's a little bit of a weird thing, because I still expect that at the end of the day, the blue team is going to win this. It would be insane if they didn't. It would really be insane. And with this, I don't necessarily mean the map, I mean the series. But can you imagine Team ORDAH actually dropping Gunnars on into the lower bracket? That would just be crazy. Would be a huge accomplishment, but also crazy. So at the end of the day, I'm also looking at Team ORDAH as one of the up-and-coming teams that can maybe play a role in the lower bracket, that can maybe in future tournaments also have a big impact. And I'm impressed that they just have different approaches on every single game. They played a double support on the first map. Right now they played a very macro-heavy style around the first objective. But given the lineup that they're running here, they are of course looking for team fights in the later stages of the game. But that they just simply went for it and just delayed on the tribute over and over again, and then used Urel and Greymane topside to get structural damage in. That was a very different approach from what they used in other games, and I like that a lot. So they have a very versatile playstyle that could help them to be very unpredictable in a lot of these games. And they're making the right moves here too. They see that the boss is likely taken from the blue team, so they go for their own top, especially with Blade on Greymane. They can make that work. And you can really see that some of these role switches that they went through seem to be working for them right now. Zeratul, though, is under pressure now at the bottom. They're going to lose quite a bit here. That being said, with the top fort already damaged early on, that boss for Team ORDAH is obviously going to crush this thing without a problem whatsoever, especially since Medaldo is still sitting around helping it out too. So 2 kills to 0 for them. Next tribute is now also popping up, and right now each team has 1. So this isn't going to force anything just yet, but we have level 10 abilities in play. That gives us a light bomb again. We got the bunker as usual. Trying to go for the camp here too. I guess the initial idea was really to catch them at the camp, but since they are not taking it, we got Nogrom now anchoring the play on the left, playing it safe for them, and they take the camp. That means that they have to give up the top tributes. That one's gone, as the piggies are moving down to the middle. But it gives more time to the red team as they are aggressively taking the bottom wall. So they take the first tower down. This has to, of course, be dealt with at some point, and no one really can right now, so it gets pinged like crazy. But down here, the entire wall has fallen. And that's exactly what I mean. This is the rotations that we see over and over again from ORDAH in game number 1 and game number 2 that really work for them. Here, on the other hand, they're forced into a team fight. They don't want to fight. A flip into the APOC, but far enough away from the rest of the blue team to ensure that they're not dying. And they're trying to go for a kill on, oh boy, on Poik. And Tracer nearly fell here. So that was kind of crazy. 2 kills to 0. Level 13 is in. And the blue team is still fighting for it. But there's not a whole lot of cooldowns left on the blue team side. They went for the big play with the Apocalypse and were hoping for a kill. And Garrosh denied that very quickly. So now they gotta be careful. I mean, this is a fight that has to be fought by the red team if they want to avoid the curse. But here comes the hit against Nogrom, and they're starting to poke him down a little bit. Tracer needs to be careful here, but the same is true for Falstad, who gets attacked by Zero's Zeratul immediately. And he's gonna look for that kill time and time again, and Mena knows it too, obviously. Zero is gonna home in on the bird. He likes the chicken and he wants to drop it into the KFC basket. Poik's job is to keep him a little bit low here and also make sure that whenever he jumps in, there's immediate damage on him, so they can turn it and maybe even get the stun. Nice save by Anduin. Same time the interrupt on Whoopi. They're going for Diablo again, but I don't think they can make too big of a play here. Breeze is moving out. Light bomb with a stun, and here comes the play for Menaldor, and Urel gets popped. Urel gets popped and just explodes, which allows Mane to go for the channel, and that's a curse. That's a curse, and that's a fort. They take the bottom fort, and the only question is, how much more can they get here? The fort is already down. Poig is moving through the bot lane with the rest of the team. In the middle, we got a big wave with the second one incoming. That's going to cost them at least a fort. Top side, it looks like we are seeing a similar picture play out. And this is snowballing fast now. 3 kills to 0. The big damage at the bot lane. Top side fort is definitely gone. The one in the middle doesn't stand a chance either. All of the structures eliminated. And that is bad, bad news for Team ORDAH. They are taking a very heavy blow here. 3 forts eliminated. And I'm, if anything, a little bit surprised that Gunnars on didn't pressure this even more. Now, there's a couple of camps up they can still take. Curse is up for another 15 seconds, and obviously the pressure bot side has now also cost them the wall here. But Urel still has to stay up at the top to make sure that this is not going to do too much. Meneldo also playing it a bit safe because they don't have vision. They don't really know where the blue team is right now, so that's a big problem. But it's 15 versus 15, and talking about knowing where they are, well, they're hunting wolves. And they might even be able to get the kill here. But Mene's Gust was not really hitting the way that they were hoping for. They still can get played though, despite the fact that the ult of Tracer didn't hit the target that he was aiming for. They get the Grey Maiden kill, and now they're trying to follow it up with a second one. And thanks to Breeze and his wall stun, they drop Garrosh. Yeah, that was a bit of a crazy situation. Mane did not try to push the wolf back, by the way. He tried to isolate him, but the Gust hit him as well. They still got the kill. They followed it up with a kill against the front line, and now they open the entire wall up and have a chance to simply go for those camps. They're waiting around for Smexy there for a moment. If Zero moved in, he would have died there too. But now the bosses are back up, and they can even go for a double boss play with this. Having level 16 available is obviously helping them even further with that endeavor. 5 kills to 0. Yeah. There it is. They come in for it, and they're starting to take that one down. Easy peasy. And I like that they at least went topside to go the boss. That's honestly the only decision that they can make here. If they want to make sure that they don't lose the game and not fall farther behind, they have to claim this boss. They just have to take it away from the opponent's team. That's the biggest thing. And here comes Breeze. So they just... Oh boy! That one was close. But yeah, they might pay a price for this now. So here comes the fight. Bot lane boss is gonna go for the keep. Zero is down already. Poig is jumping in and out in the attempt to get even more kills. They weren't able to make that happen. So down here, the keep is going to be under pressure. At the top, they're going to try and prevent the same thing from happening to themselves. But there is still not a single kill. Oh, I've seen that, Breeze. There's still not a single kill here. There is still not a single kill against the blue team. So there's that. Alright, 17 to 16, everybody. And the blue team is pulling ahead. Slowly, but steadily here. But yeah, at the end of the day, there is still a chance, of course, for Team ORDAH to make a comeback in this game. What they really need right now is a team fight victory. They need to get a couple of kills. They're not that far behind. If you look at the experience, it's half a level that separates the two. But when it comes to the tributes and also a little bit more control of the map, they really need to play for the curse. They really need to get a couple of kills, and they need to make this happen before level 20 is there. Because you can't afford too many of these keeps fall at this point. You're going to lose control over the middle of the map, and you're going to lose control very heavily over the flow of the game. And as it stands, I'm very surprised that they didn't try and go for that tribute. It wasn't the best position. It was still leaning heavily towards the blue team. But then again, how much time do you have? I mean, it's 2 levels until 20. And if they get a curse around that, you're going to lose keeps. So they decided that they're going to fight this another day. And I guess I can respect that, but they have to prove that they can pull that off, because that's not going to be easy. Vubi and his boys, they're going to play this smart. They might go for the fight at the top tribute, but they can play this slow now. They don't have to rush. They don't even have to go for the next tribute if they don't want to. They can just simply sit there, try and poke it out a little bit, delay it, buy time, and then wait for level 20. With that gap that they're holding right now, that's definitely a thing. So I'm a little bit scared for Team ORDAH just because of that. I mean, it's a level. We're talking about a level, that's it. 21,000 damage. Oh, the jet propulsion missed. But did it? Yeah, I don't think he hit it. Jet propulsion missed, but still a nice play. They try to go for Breeze and go. They actually get the save. How the hell? Nice gust in the follow-up. Garrosh is dead. Good silence from Malfurion. And it ends with the death of Whoopi. Finally a kill for Team ORDAH. Finally they get a kill. But what also happens at the same time is the Siege Giants pressuring the top lane with the help of the catapult now too. So it's all about the tribute here. And they can delay this a little bit further. Malfurion is already poked down to half HP. That's a problem. Breeze can always traverse over and try and pressure him even more. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. Breeze gets attacked. Great pull from Smexy. Zeratul gets the kill. But he had his soul stacks together. He's going to be back. They can't get the counter kill though. Instead, Anduin dies. So Smexy is now dead. And all of a sudden, Main is being chased and so is Poik. Both of them likely going to fall here. Blade gets the kill against the chicken. And Zero locks in on Tracer and takes her down. 20 versus 20 is going to be the inevitable conclusion. Both of the teams closing in on those 20s. Top side has been defeated, the Siege Giants at least. Down at the bottom of the map, there's a catapult moving in, but I don't think this is going to do too much for them. They can always defend this as well. So Team ORDAH is back to business. There's a lot of great plays in that last fight. I mean, some of the saves that we had, Breeze several times was saved by Smexy at the last moment before Zeratul could take him down. But then he dies and that just starts a cascade of deaths on the side of Gunnars on. 5 kills now. Team ORDAH with 5 kills against Gunnars on. And this is the biggest problem that I had the entire time in those qualifiers too. The names, the players that you see on Gunnars on are insane. They're absolutely insane. But the results and the way that these games are playing out just isn't really all that promising. If you want to be the team that takes down Team Wah and the Hardos, that is successful against someone like Hazops and his boys or Masquerade, then you need to win against Team ORDAH in a much cleaner version. If that is still a bit of a testing ground for them, then be it as it may. But they have to either grow with their opponents or they are not going to have a bright future ahead of them in this tournament. That's the big problem here. And that is, of course, assuming that they're able to win this one. Because right now, with 20 versus 20, this is anyone's game to take. The only thing that divides the two teams at this point is the keep at the bot lane. And now top side gets taken. They should be able to lock this one in. Zero, on the other hand, is already moving in. So, yeah, he's a bit too late on that. But this is going to get nasty. The team fights are going to decide this one. Who is able to get that sneaky kill in? Another safe attempt. We might have to bunker up on this one. Yep, there's the bunker. And here's the fight being forced. Good save. There's the wind tunnel and they're disengaging. Zeratul is the only one who still tried to poke it out a bit. But of course, with him now also getting dropped to 50%, they had to disengage there. Falsa with a quick fly down to the bottom of the map. They're making sure that this boss is not going to take the keep. The same thing more or less happening at the top, but to be fair, this one is going to do a little bit more damage. But here's the tribute, and that's a curse! Again, they're getting cursed now. So, right now, there's the curse against the blue team. All of a sudden, they're on the receiving end. Top side still has to be defended. Guys, this keep might actually fall. If that Siege Giant stops slacking... There it is. Keep down. 2 keeps down. They can actually make that work. Zeratul isn't here, so they're trying to buy themselves a little bit of time. Top side is not going to be a problem. Mid lane is not going to be a problem because they took the camp. So despite the fact that they're cursed, they shouldn't really have any issues. This camp is preventing the mid lane from pushing out too much. Top side is going to take a long time until it's there. The only lane that is under pressure is the bot lane. And they should be able to defend here with the team. They might lose the bottom key, but at the end of the day, they're still going to have a 1 keep advantage, unless, of course, they're getting defeated in the team fight now. That's the only caveat here. So for now, they're going to start going in for this one. And they try to get the kill, and Zeratul is nearly dead. They're trying to get him into a corner, and that's the end of him. Zeratul down, and Blaze is likely going to help them to take Garrosh down now. Breeze is already moving in. Khaldor is the one that gets isolated. Hops over. Are they going to chase? Breeze is already looking for us, and I'm actually amazed that they didn't lose more here. Somehow the red team is able to move away. They only lost Zeratul. That is insane. The position they had was so garbage that I mean, there was no way that they got out like this. But somehow they did. And now what do we see? A play for the middle, a play for the keep. They're trying to take every single structure here. And they're going to get this one for free. Easily. So, can they get kills with it? Well, maybe not. Maybe it's not as free as I thought it is. Falstad is down. Hello? Blaze is down too. And all of a sudden, are we talking reverse? Can they go core? That turned quickly. They stayed way long. Smexy's dead 100%. Breeze hellgated out. Poik is on the move. And Smexy's buying them time. 40 seconds for Falstad. Are they gonna go for core here? What's the time on the boss? 1 minute 30. I think they're gonna go for core. They're trying. Trace and Diablo. They're trying for payback. Game number 1 was insane how it ended. And now they're trying to go for the same play. The big reversal. 8 kills to 8 kills. They try to make the play for the core. Greymane is the biggest problem. He's the biggest damage dealer here. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 10 seconds for the defenders. Poik is already poking. He's going for Zeratul. The core is falling. 2 seconds for Falstad. He has the gust. He has the gust. They need a good one. Gust is there. 50%. One is down. They need to take Greymane down. They need to kill Greymane as quickly as possible. And he's dead. He's dead. They're wiping them. They're taking all of them down. 5-man wipe on the core. And that's going to be game. Holy shit, 15% on the core. And now they're going to end the game again. Team ORDAH was trying to give them a taste of their own medicine, and it just didn't work out for them. Greymane got killed. He's the main damage dealer. They didn't have the numbers. Time worked out for the blue team. They got the gust. They pushed them out, and that is game. Gunnars on with a 2-0, a crazy 2-0 victory. Makes it to the next round of the winner bracket, and Team ORDAH drops down into the losers bracket. GG and well played. The blue team, in a really, really strange series, is able to take down the competition with a 2-0. Well done. Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.